Although I say that's not actually quite time to use that because the talking pet is in the inventory and he said that I could talk to him whenever I wanted, so let's talk to him.
Captain, the halo device on board this vessel is giving me a headache. Please remove it. Now, Captain. It is foolish to resist. It remains more effective than I thought. You're still able to disobey. Ah, well. What can I do for you, Captain?
How's it going, Dinyari? You okay down there in the cargo bay?
It is cold and empty. I could use a thermal blanket. Since it is incredibly boring down here, I am using the opportunity to try and get some sleep.
What do you suggest I do now, Dinyari?
The first thing I do is to make sure I had a strong ship and fleet.
And what can you tell me about your race, the Dinyari?
I consider such a question to be intrusive and impolite, but that is consistent with your behavior. What do you want to know?
What can you tell me about your species biology?
You mean my superior brain? My mental prowess? I don't want to talk about it.
Come on, we're friends. Tell me about the scope of your psychic powers.
Captain, I don't think you meant to ask about my powers. Didn't you mean to ask about flowers?
Yes, Dinyari. I wish to know about flowers.
Flowers are beautiful and smell nice. Now, be a good human and leave me alone.
I wish to go now.
An excellent idea, Captain. You must have a great deal of work to attend to. Goodbye.
Well, there's still some stuff I'd ask you, so I'm going to talk to you again.
Hello, Captain. It is less than comfy down here in your ship's cargo hold. Please send down some pillows. Now, what can I do for you?
What can you tell me about your race?
I consider such a question to be intrusive and impolite, but that is consistent with your behavior. What do you want to know?
What can you tell me about the history of your people?
Over 20,000 years ago, my species was happy and carefree, living a life of peace and contentment on the surface of our world, Ventaflork. We spent our time gathering foods, creating art, and compelling each other to do the boring chores. Then, a ship from the sentient milieu landed, and, well, things got pretty complicated.
I know so little about the sentient milieu. Can you describe
The
it?
sentient milieu were a bloodthirsty empire that ruled a large section of the galaxy for thousands of years. If you've heard that the milieu was a cooperative union of sentient species, it's lies, all lies. The Ur-Quan were just a part of the milieu, but their dark and evil hearts infused the entire association with a sinister ambiance.
So tell me about the war between your species and the sentient milieu.
Well, after we'd been in contact with the milieu for a while, they decided to kill all of my species. Now, does that sound like a reasonable, friendly bunch of aliens? Huh? Does it, Captain? No, it does not. Well, the war was over pretty quick. My species lost. Instead of just killing us, the Ur-Quan modified our genes. Our children were born non-sentient, dumb animals. For the past 20 millennia, we Denari have been serving the Ur-Quan in the most demeaning way they could imagine, acting as mindless translators who communicate the words of inferior races.
So I've heard enough.
That's good. I was getting sleepy.
Okay, Dinyari, you can go back to sleep now.
Goodbye, human.
Okay, now I will use the sun device. Quite bright, isn't it?
We are free. You have flooded our synthesis mechanisms with a wealth of radiant energy. What was supposed to take decades has been accomplished in seconds. The process is incomplete, yet we have emerged. We are the Chmmr. Why have you interrupted the process?
Because you are the key to winning back the freedom of the Alliance.
Your need must be great for you to have risked so much just to bring us from beneath the shield. We were not ready, but this is now in the past. What is done is done. You are intent on stopping the Ur-Quan. Very well. We are prepared to assist you in whatever way we can. We must first tell you that even before we were placed under the slave shield, we realized that the only way to truly defeat the Ur-Quan was to first destroy their precursor battle platform, the Sumatra. This vessel was responsible for the victory of the hierarchy over the Alliance. When it was brought to bear against our worlds, we could not resist it. This must be your priority. This must be your eventual goal. We know what is necessary to achieve this end, but first we must know what you have already learned. So we will scan the databanks and logs aboard your ship. There. The process is complete. Now we can discuss what you must do. You need to locate the Ur-Quan's Sumatra vessel. If you cannot find it yourself, ask those others who are near the Ur-Quan. Perhaps they will know. We have detected the presence of a Chmmr aboard your ship. Though the being is darkly evil and incredibly dangerous, the Tallow device you possess has effectively nullified the creature's power over you. However, it will do a most excellent job distracting the Ur-Quan long enough for you to approach the Sumatra and destroy it. You possess an antimatter bomb. This is good. But had you activated it, the device would have annihilated your ship and everything else within 500 kilometers. Even so, we will have to improve this device, magnify its power with our crystal technology. The destructive potential of this weapon will then make it suitable for the most important task you will ever undertake, the neutralization of the Sumatra, the Ur-Quan's nearly invincible battle platform. You are fully prepared for the undertaking. There is every chance that you will be able to destroy the Sumatra and stop both the Ur-Quan and the Chmmr.
So, what happens now?
We will now fit the precursor weapon and our own crystal amplification system to your vessel by routing a portion of your flagship's fusion power through the weapon's ignition chamber. Its destructive force will be multiplied by a large factor.
We'll fire this weapon at the Sumatra, right? It's not going to hurt my ship, is it?
Your vessel will be totally annihilated.
That's bad. Don't suppose there's anything we can do to change that, is there?
No.
Fair enough. Can you provide us with any other assistance?
Because your flagship will be substantially weakened by our modifications, you may require additional combat vehicles for protection, so that you can approach close enough to the Sumatra to detonate the weapon. We will provide you with the designs for our new Avatar-class fighting ships. In competent hands, these ships are a match for both the Ur-Quan and Chmmr vessels.
Very well. Proceed with the modifications.
The completion date for your vessel's modification is roughly 2 weeks hence, so that you and your human companions may make any necessary preparations at your starbase. We will now transport you and your crew back to Earth immediately. Good luck, Captain.
Ah, Captain, I'm glad you're back. There's something I think you should know. We have made a formal alliance with the Chmmr. Their ships can now be built in our shipyards. Also, in the 2 weeks that have passed since the Chmmr began to work on your vessel, they attached the Utwig bomb to your ship and have also put in place their own crystalline amplification devices to boost dramatically the power of the weapon. This work is now complete and your flagship is ready for whatever final modifications you desire. The Chmmr technicians wanted me to explain to you that the bomb and its crystal power boosters are fragile and cannot be moved from their positions at the back of your vehicle. Now I have some bad news and some good news. The Chmmr had to remove all your main modules, weapons, crew pods, and the whole lot, including your emergency warp escape unit, so pick your engagements carefully, Captain. In addition, their equipment now fills the rear 10 slots, leaving you only 6 for your own modules. But here's the good news. The Chmmr have provided us with an unbelievable wealth of minerals and other resources. We no longer have limits on what we can build for your flagship or your fleet.
Right, well, can your scientists analyse what I have acquired since my last visit?
The analysis reads as follows. Subject, talking pet life form. Data, this creature is physiologically identical to the so-called Ur-Quan talking pet with one notable exception. It is highly intelligent and evidences strong psychic capabilities. Initial AIQR test rated it well above human super genius, though immediately after we made this shocking assessment, its scores dropped to the normal-subnormal range. Interviews with the subject have shown it to be cooperative, though a Class 4 pan-species psychological profile places the creature far into the furtive, hateful domain. There were also some disturbing incidences where we talked about roses, daisies, and other pretty flowers. Summary: everything's okay, nothing to worry about with this cuddly little guy. Not one thing. That's the end of our scientist report.
Okay, so I want to get the Samak destroyed as soon as I can so that I can get rid of this Dinyari. Goodbye, Commander.
We're all depending on you. Goodbye, and good luck.
So, now I can buy whatever I want. It is time to do that. So, I will see you next time when I will have outfitted my starship, done whatever I need to do to make it what I want it to be, and then I will go off to Crateris and destroy the Sumatra. So I will see you then.